Recording. Chi-Chi is good. I was just thinking about paths, or paths. How a narrow path is always tidy, weed-free. It's the wide path that fills up with weeds. Nobody uses the edge. And quickly, the wide path can become a narrow path again. I imagine this is an ongoing cycle. It applies to everything. But I think for all, a path is available. A path in, a path out. We're told the road to hell is paved with good things. And what kind of path are you on? Personally, I'm concerned with peace and freedom. Of course, rooted in truth. And today we're going to talk about the absolute opposite, the prison system, historically. So for this week, I thank you for joining me. I love you all. God bless and welcome. So the prison system, something fascinating in this research. All the architecture of the old world is beyond amazing, and the stories we're given for their construction and functions, designations, never add up. I mean, pre-1950, there's no reason to have any buildings with more than 2 floors. It would be cumbersome to build, expensive, and unnecessary. So many of these buildings are unnecessary. And one of the most unnecessary, at least unnecessary designations, is the prisons. The old world prisons. Now, again, I think it's all been redesignated. Cathedrals, capitol buildings, breweries. Everything has been flipped on its head, and it's pretty clear, I think, to many of us. However, some may not see it, and you need more shocking examples. And this is one. Old American jails. And there's thousands, realm-wide. This is a very common theme. It's like some of the first buildings they even built were jails. Like you had problems in this time period. And that's fine. Maybe that's the case. But do they need to be so beautiful? And perhaps that's the question. Here we're looking at the Walnut Street Jail in Philadelphia. One of America's first penitentiaries, established in 1776. Okay. The jail. Here's a sketch. Some grand wall across the way. And this building. This oversized building and this afterthought wooden building to its side. Why the wooden building? As if this isn't enough? And this doesn't look like a jail. Anyway, many of these still exist. And here we can see a little above view of the Walnut Street Jail. Castle. I mean the castle part. Must it resemble a castle in any way? Is that necessary? Anyways, eventually they shut it down and they created the Eastern State Penitentiary. It opened its daunting gates in 1829. 1829, now a haunting museum. A museum, let's have a look. Another castle. So they say they moved it, but could this be the same one? Massive. Just so gothic. It looks like it had cathedral windows at one point. Here we can see the inside. Again, it looks like the same building. I don't think they moved anything. Next, I want to look at the Auburn Prison. Let's take a pause. So the Auburn Prison, established in 1816. It emphasized silence at all times. The silent system. And here she is. Big brick building. Again, opened in 1818. Who knows what this building looked like? It's been in use quite a while. And here we go. Let's get a better angle. Come on. Prison. And I don't even want to discuss what it may have been. Almost looks like a little terminal or an airport. And why must all prisons be so castle-y? Surely no inmates are up here. Why this? Auburn. Auburn, New York. It really does change with the different angles. Here we can see it from the top, almost jutting out in a kind of starfort way. And here she is again. Look at this thing. All brick and stone. Could have been a hotel, very simply. Mud-flooded windows down here. But again, I don't want to talk about what it was, but rather consider if it may have been a prison. How about this one? Sing Sing Correctional Facility, opened in 1826. Sing Sing. They say it has something to do with a Native American tribe, the Sinsink tribe, whom New York purchased the land from in 1685. Probably just through this tribe in this prison. And these things are massive, like old factories or something. Here we have the train running right through. Buildings everywhere, smokestacks, really resembling some kind of industry, strategically located on the coast. Sing Sing. Here's another one. San Quentin State Prison, 1852, California. So again, this is a great example. A few years after California becomes a state, we build this prison. Sorry, I wanted to show you a little corner of Sing Sing real quick. Sing Sing. Okay, and back to San Quentin. So here we go. Looks like they've painted just the parts facing potential visitors, and it's all old and yellow brick back here. Again with the castle features, and again on the coast. San Quentin. Here we can see the front, of course, castle-y. Gotta have castle architecture for the prisoners. This is very important to symbolize the king and the servants and the lookout tower. More history about the inmates. Really gruesome. All these people that have been removed from their vessels. And here we go. I mean, were these star forts that have been totally dumbed down? Massive complexes. Here again, looking like it could have been a hotel. It really does. Here would have been the dining room. Totally the dining room here. These three windows. A buffet, some eggs, and toast. Hotel California, literally. One more little view, and let's look at Missouri. Pause. Missouri. The Missouri Penitentiary opened in 1836. Served as the oldest operating prison west of the Mississippi until it closed in 2004. Pretty good run on that baby. Pretty good indeed. Now what is it? The penitentiary is now a tourist attraction, and guided tours are offered. At least. At effing least. God, look at this beauty. Unbelievable. Again, cathedral-style entryway. Look at this thing. Oh, and this is great. Look at the brick under it, exposed. Beautiful. Showing that this is actually a solid brick building with a false stone facade. Ding! Oh, this is so good. And here we actually see a lot of the brick exposed for whatever reason, and a lot of demolishing going on. Pretty great. And again, prison? Come on, prison? The shitty bars on the window, and you're gonna do all this? Why? In 1836? And here we go. Side view, and kind of dead on. Looks like a different side, different doors. Just mind-blowing. Really, it could have been a high school. Looks like a auditorium or something. Look at this. And again, we know that it's solid brick under there. Before you should have access to brick manufacturing. 1836? Look at this. What are they gonna do? Giant windows. Really more of a factory again. Factory or hotel. And here she is from above. Oh, forbidden. Well, you can see all the buildings. I think a train would have come through here and unloaded. Look at this thing. I could just spend too much time in Missouri. Look at the weathering. What the hell happened here? Moss and fire. totally repurposed building. Come on. Look how they said the hell with these windows here. Just left a little ventilation. So indicating that this facading is pretty recent. Like whoever repurposed this into a jail may have been doing some facading. And we can see actually it looks newer. It's much cleaner. They did a pretty good job, but you can clearly see this is an afterthought. Pretty awesome. Is this what you think of when you think of a jail? Of course, we have famous places like Alcatraz, and Alcatraz just looks like some beautiful residence. Just beautiful. Almost looks like it's missing parts. Like this could have had a great dome on top of it, and you would appreciate what kind of building this is. Again, all brick. And what I want to show you is these buildings in ruins here on the right. We're told this was the warden's house. Let me show you that real quick. So the warden's house, just the side of the building real quick, just to show its size. It's hard to gauge from far away. And here we go, the warden's house. So look at this thing, like a beautiful Spanish-y style building, cooked out. And here again, the warden's building. This doesn't seem like something that should be associated with a prison. Here we can see another random building. Pretty incredible. Stripped down, dumbed down, but I think the evidence is pretty clear. Now this one I just discovered today. Never seen it before. Love it. The West Virginia Penitentiary. Built 1876. West Virginia. West Virginia. Here we go. Here is where you're going to pay the price. Look at the windows. All the windows? Is this really how you would build a jail? How anyone would imagine building a jail? I could think of 100 more secure designs. Not this. West Virginia, really reminding me of the one in Philadelphia, this old stone. Looks like they power washed this little section here. Less power washing as you get higher up. The hell with it. So yeah, it's on the Register of Historic Places now. Means nothing if somebody's interested in buying it. We've discovered, of course, through this research. And here we can have a little look inside. I mean, if you were able to make a castle on the outside, can't we have something better than this on the inside? I mean, if not for the inmates, at least for your own pride as a builder. Are we trying to fool someone? Like it looks beautiful on the outside and then this shit on the inside? How about this chair? Can't this chair be any nicer? I mean, it's the last chair they're gonna sit in. No. Let's take a pause. Folsom, California. Sung about in the Johnny Cash song. He was stuck in Folsom State Prison. And here she is. Look at this thing. Come on, this double arch here. What? What? This is worth studying right here. Just this arch. I've never seen an arch like this. Very machiny. But again, very castle-y in this kind of a caduceus symbol. What is this symbol with the extra piece on top? And what is this prison? Opened in 1880. It was one of the first maximum security prisons. There we go. That would explain this beautiful entryway and this blockage. I wish I could have a blockhouse. And here we can see the edge of the prison on the river. Look at these castle walls built right up to the edge of the river. Beautiful walls. This is old America here. Look at this. I wonder if I could go hike around here. Surely it's allowed, as long as I don't go over the fence. Let me know if you can access this area. This is sweet. And here we go. This sprawling castle city wall. Probably a bunch of demolishment here. Just pushed off into the river like they do. Let's have one more little look. Oh, just gorgeous. I mean, there we go. I didn't even mean to say that. Why am I saying that? Look at this building. Again, like Dream House. And why is this part of the prison? Why am I marveling at prison architecture? What is wrong with this picture? Well, I guess we'll look at another one. Pause. Okay, now this one is sick. Sick. Kansas City, Kansas. That is such an original name. And yet, what an original building. Come on, this could have been a courthouse or a capitol building. Did they have such an excess in Kansas? Was it Kansas? Kansas. Oh, a nice little downtown. Look at this downtown. Let us just appreciate this little Kansas town. Okay. And back to jail. Back to jail. What? When was this built? Opened 1903. There we go. 1903. It doesn't look like a jail, right? No siree. Here she is from above. Just awesome. What was it again? A safe factory. I mean, just all the elements of an industrial complex, but yet beautiful, because everything in the old world was beautiful. Leavenworth. Look at this. I mean, this was really reaching. But really, in this time period, it would be almost impossible to demolish, let alone build. You can see why they just turned it into a jail. Again, the giant windows, the worst way to build a building meant to secure people. Shiny metal dome. Look at the arches. Why would you build the arches like this? Almost seeming like, again, this was a beautiful complex, and perhaps these were all open, and this was a welcoming area, not this junk fest that they've turned it into. And there's so many more. For instance, this list that I was looking at didn't discuss the old Salt Lake City jail. Wasn't even on the list. Let me show you that. They've demolished it now. There's a park here that I often frequent, and I had no idea that this castle prison once sat in the middle of the park. Sugar House Park. And absolutely ridiculous, right? Why build a prison like this? This thing, again, is built in the 1850s, like within the first few years of the Mormons arriving. Does this make any sense? And here it is, looking almost like what it once may have been. Looking very charming, like a hotel. Again, a little bed and breakfast. Ivy growing on the side. And then I just got kind of crazy. I knew of one in Wyoming, so I punched in old Wyoming jail. This one's not too far from my house. I've planned on visiting it. They give tours today. But yeah, Wyoming cowboys. I mean, like, total cowboy. Still the least populated state, or at least one of them in the nation. And here it is. Look at this thing. Horse and wagon, really? And you can do it where you live. Just punch in old jail, and you're gonna get some old world building. You're not gonna get something that looks like a jail. And this is one instance where they should just build a cube building. I'm always saying how ugly our modern buildings are, how they just resemble square cubes. And here, with a jail, like, you absolutely are justified to build a big square block, ugly as could be, and yet they don't. They're all castles. And what does this mean? I think the evidence is clear that we didn't build all of these castles, and they were not meant to be prisons in the first place. One more, I punched in old Idaho jail, just winging it at this point. And here we go. The old Idaho jail, the penitentiary. Pretty unbelievable. The beauty, the age, the weathering. Does this look like a jail here? Thank God they preserved, because very often these features are the first to go. So what more can I say? I suppose let us celebrate our freedom. For this week, I thank you for joining me. I love you all. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.